Welcome back to Appalachian Dim Sum.
Where entertainment is our comfort food.
And this is going to be our discussion of the film Fallen.
Yes, and I think there's multiple things that kind of fall into that category. When you look it up, it is the 1998
Right.
Denzel
Washington film.
Fallen film. I ran into that when I was searching some info on it here just a second ago. Even
Yeah, there's some like young adult, like angel lover kind of stuff.
yeah, even AI with Google AI was like, "What
do
Fallen
you
are you
want?"
talking about?"
Yeah.
So
just do Fallen Denzel Washington is probably the quickest way to get to it.
1998 film. Get that out of the way at the beginning. It's a huge bomb.
It was
Yes.
a huge bomb, huh?
$46 million budget. Box office was 25.2.
Oh, that's horrible.
So,
Why is it that like all these films, I'm like, this is one of my favorite films ever, just bombed in the box office? It seems that way anyway.
I have a little bit of explanation for it on this one, I think, but we'll get to that.
Okay. Well, the elephant in the room is that this film is very clearly inspired by Seven. Very clearly.
Yeah.
They were definitely going after a sort of Seven aesthetic, but it's almost like a made-for-TV Seven, because I don't know what the rating is. It might be R. But I could very well sing it.
It was R.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's rated R, but it is a very tame R.
Probably a scene right at the end is really the R rating.
You're probably right. The very end, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like even when they show,
without saying which characters or what or spoiling anything, there's a headshot with a gun from close range, and that's probably the R rating there. It's a pretty soft R, I would say.
Yeah. They do show there are some dead bodies earlier, even some gunshots earlier, but they're not bloody or anything like that.
It's bodies laying in a bathtub where you
Yeah.
like kind of see their face and you see their feet sticking up. So it's not like even not even really any blood in any of those scenes. So
now I did find it interesting, and we spoke about Seven recently, and if I don't know if that's going to be even posted by the time we post this, but hey, that is what it is. But we talked about how Denzel Washington was up for the role of that Brad Pitt took in Seven.
Yeah,
and this is absolutely got to be like if Will Smith was like started an Equilibrium, instead of Christian Bale. It's like, oh, I missed out on that one thing. Let me try to recapture that.
Yeah,
didn't work, huh?
I didn't go for Matrix, so I'll do this thing that kind of looks like it, but it's totally not it.
Right. That's what this is. He didn't do Seven, and Seven was a hit, and he was like, well, I want a hit, so let's do this kind of movie. It looks like the director was Gregory Hoblit.
I saw him on his credits there. He had Primal Fear, Frequency, Heart's War, a few other movies that I was familiar with the name of, but not really anything I'd seen. So kind of a mishmash of crime drama type things, and Heart's War is a historical type movie. So
it looks like he's still working. He did Primal Fear.
Yeah.
That was right before Fallen.
Yeah. Primal Fear was. I don't know I can't remember if I've seen that or just haven't seen that in a long time.
Is that the one with Edward Norton?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
that's definitely one of those. It's a good movie, but I have a hard time being like, hey, you should watch Primal Fear.
Yeah.
The subject matter is just woof. No. Rough.
Here's my initial thought on Fallen.
Oh, the string.
Either the Rolling Stones or Cats or the Devil.
Oh, yeah.
Or both.
So the basic premise of Fallen, and this is, we'll do some light spoilers here, is there's a demon that is taunting this police officer, and the demon's getting people killed, and the murders are being blamed on the police officer because like a lot of the things that happens in the killing, like the ritualistic nature, it's like, well, only this the psychopath that has died in the very beginning of the film. They put a guy to death.
Yeah, so the killer was named Edgar Reese.
Edgar Reese, yeah.
Had a little bit of a sort of like a cult following, because he was the subject of a documentary that I think was even being released as this guy was being put to death.
And that actor, one of those actors that I like the actor, and if the actor's in it, I'll be like, hey, I'll be more interested in it. Absolutely no idea what his name is. All I know
Elias Codius.
Okay, he's the guy who played Casey Jones in the original Ninja Turtles movie.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, he's one of those guys he's almost like Juliette Lewis's dad, which speaks to the fact that I have to think about what his name is because I just know him as her dad. That he's just in so many movies as a background character, a side character, like an officer's like detective partner, that kind of thing. That you almost just you get used to seeing him around. Elias Codius he's been in a ton of war movies. He's been in I can't even remember which war movies he's done and which one he hasn't. I think he was pretty prominent in that's the Sean uh goodness.
The Thin Red Line.
The Thin Red Line. You know what I was trying to get to? He's one of the commanding officers there, and one that's kind of struggling with keeping on sending people up the hills to get just gunned down.
Yeah, he does a lot of TV stuff.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure he's in a ton of those sort of like NYPD lawyer, police officer shows, whatever. Probably mixing 18 metaphors if I try to recall which one's Law and Order and LA Law and all the New York more recent things.
And I was thinking he might have been in this series that I've always wanted to watch because I liked the trailers and stuff for it, but I don't think it's him. I'm bringing that up now. No, I bet he gets confused for Christopher Maloney a lot.
Okay.
This guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I could see them getting confused because I just confuse them.
Yeah, no, he looks actually a lot like,
a lot like each other.
Pretty actor loaded movie. It had Denzel Washington. This is Fallen.
Yep.
John Goodman, Donald Sutherland, James Gandolfini, plus Elias.
I was
Codius.
I was surprised when I rewatched this. I was like, "Hey, James Gandolfini."
He's a third tier character in the movie, really.
Yeah, he's kind of like a sleazy cop.
Yeah, great handlebar mustache.
Oh yeah,
gotta give him some credit there.
All right, there were a couple of quotes in there because the Denzel Washington plays a cop, and like Gandolfini and Goodman, they all play cops in the same precinct. And when I was watching, I was thinking of you because of some of the quotes regarding like cops of the chosen people.
Yeah.
They talk about cops taking cream, like money off the top or whatever. And Denzel Washington character says he never takes cream, and they're like, "Oh, so you think badly of cops that take cream?" And he's like, "Look, any cop, cream or no cream, is doing better out there every day than anybody else, any doctor, any lawyer."
I think they do a percentage or something. They're like, one of them says like 99% doing better than 99% of the people, and like John Goodman's like 99.5.
Yeah.
Which is a pretty valid point sometimes. It's one that most people don't really quite understand. Definitely an aspect of that definitely appeals to people that have been in police work. The chosen one thing is a thing I won't get into here of people that choose to go into that. I think are called to do it. Sometimes people get into it for other reasons, but I think the people that are good at it and are really kind of dedicated to it are called. But that's getting outside of the philosophy of the movie. That's getting into my personal philosophy. But the the protagonist thing, the demon you mentioned, his name is Azazel. And it's basically it's a demon that can just move from body to body through contact, unless it's somebody that can resist its contact because they have a better moral constitution or more resistance to demonic influence. Yeah. And he's just basically, his motivation is he's just here to have fun and play and mess with people. Have fun and
play, yeah.
He just wants to mess with people, and that's kind of its motivation. And it's like,
let's talk about the demonology just for a little bit.
Yeah.
In Genesis 6, this is early in the 1 through 4. I'm gonna skip 3 because when human beings began to increase in number on the earth and daughters were born to them, the sons of God saw that the daughters of humans were beautiful, and they married any of them they chose. The Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterwards, And the sons of God went to the daughters of humans. They had children by them. And they were the heroes of old, the men of renown.
Yeah.
Now, there's also the Book of Enoch. You ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, it's a non-canonical book, and it's all about the Nephilim, the ranks, who they are. And Azazel is known, or all about the Grigori, who are the parents of the Nephilim. And Azazel is like the chief Grigori. He's like the leader of the Grigori.
Yeah.
And they teach man how to like cultivate the field, how to make weapons. I think Azazel was one of the ones that like taught women how to beautify themselves with makeup, that kind of stuff.
Okay.
When and according to certain thoughts, that the whole reason the flood exists, like the reason the flood happened, is because of the Nephilim. That humanity genetically became corrupted with the like angelic genes.
Yeah.
And God was like, we got to deal with that. So he killed everything. And when that happened, the spirits of the Grigori, the angels that had fallen, because at this point they were fallen angels,
Yeah.
they became disembodied. And that's what Azazel is. He is a disembodied fallen angel.
Yeah. And where the idea and probably, I think, the reality of demonic possession comes from.
Yeah.
That when they were disembodied, that was how they continued to live. And they actually specify in this one, I think it's kind of cool that they actually reference it in cubits, which is the measurement that was kind of what they used to make the ark and other things of that time frame, was that Azazel could live outside of a body.
Was it 500 cubits?
He could hold a breath, and he could travel.
It was for the length of a breath, yeah.
Yes, for the length of a breath, and he could usually travel about 500 cubits in one breath before, and if he didn't,
he dies.
Wasn't able to repossess something, then he would die, and becomes a very prominent part of the story as the story plays out.
Now, I've always been, I wouldn't say biblical Christian. Like I was Presbyterian. I was raised as like just I'd say a table Christian.
Yeah.
You pray before meals and stuff like that. When I was a teen, I went to a Presbyterian church. We went as a family, and that got me more into the Bible and stuff like that. And around this time, I was really into supernatural stuff. So like it was aliens and angels and demons and stuff like that. So this like timeline wise in my life, this movie was definitely something that I was all about when it came out.
Yeah, my attraction to horror has always been from the more to the demon possession type things and less like slasher movies and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Because the rest of those things are something that if slasher shows up at my house, it's called, hello, I have a 12 gauge.
Right.
This movie ends here.
Yeah.
The demon things are actually what I've always found frightening.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just because it's part of a movie. It's like there are laid out rights, things in the Bible and the Catholic Church and stuff on how to deal with demon possession. And it's like, I don't think they're just doing that because they want some time on social media. I think it's the fact that there's actually all this documented thing to deal with it. Is like there's a very strong basis for this. And when you start dealing with people that don't have any kind of support, people that are isolated, that's usually where the movies kind of go, is either somebody that's hit with tragedy or is isolated from other people for some reason. The demons show up and prey on them so instantly, and it's like the whole idea of those kind of things I think are way more terrifying than some jump scare horror movie or something where somebody just goes and stabs 40 people in a movie and hey, that's horror. It's like, no, that was horrible. It wasn't horror.
There are different like levels of demonic influence. Like one is called demonic oppression. It's when like demonic forces attack you from outside.
Yeah. And
then there's possession, where it takes possession of you. So like in this, John Hobbes, whose name is clearly after a couple of philosophers, John Locke and Hobbes, which is the same philosopher named after the tiger from Calvin and Hobbes. But he's definitely being oppressed by a demon who's possessing other people.
And I don't think he's like specifically targeted for any real reason. It's just that Azazel is in this character Reese, that is Hobbes arrested and was the investigating officer on, and he was there to see him be executed for all of the crimes that he did. But I also think there was a little bit of a targeting because the comments about him being chosen, whether or not
Yeah.
You want to get into that discussion or
We
not?
could, yeah, we can.
With him being a kind of a more peer officer, talking about he doesn't want to tolerate people that steal, even if they just steal just
He's
a
an
little bit.
honorable man.
Is that's what demons are going to search to destroy.
Right.
And in that vein, you kind of wonder, like, how long was Azazel watching the Hobbs character, looking for a chance to get him?
Well,
And,
from the film, it seemed like demons are opportunistic.
Yeah.
And so it was just that he had possessed Reese, and he was having fun with Reese, and Reese was taken down by Hobbs.
Yeah.
And because Reese was taken down by Hobbs, he got Azazel's attention.
Yeah.
So it wasn't necessarily that.
Didn't really see him before that.
Yeah, it wasn't really that like he was drawn to Hobbs. It's just Hobbs was there.
Well, the idea of Azazel being around from the time of the flood means that demons are, he's just there to entertain himself. And how many times has he gone through the thing of driving somebody into insanity and killing other people? And that's basically Azazel's plan, was to turn somebody evil, make them kill innocent people, and be like, hey, this was fun. And then once that person gets caught or killed by the people that he attacked, then he just hops to somebody else and does it again.
And these murders is kind of where you see the Seven influence. Like the demon will hop from one guy to another guy, and then he'll go kill the guy he was just inside, and he'll lead the cops along to him, the next guy. It's like he's having fun leaving clues and breadcrumbs and stuff like that.
He literally is just having fun messing with
just
people.
having fun messing with them. And I was trying to see if IMDb has a quote. I don't think it does, but at one point Azazel tells Hobbs, he's like, this is how we do it, one by one. It's like, well, one at a time. We corrupt just one person. That's all we need.
And early in the movie, when right before Reese is taken away to be executed, he reaches out to shake Hobbs's hand.
Mm-hmm.
And generally, that's how this demon Azazel is able to move between people.
He moves between people with
simple
touch.
Contact. Mm-hmm. And like he tries, and then I think he sees that he can't overtake Hobbs. He even says some stuff, and they actually have a recording of him saying it turns out to be like either old Aramaic or old Syrian or something from biblical times.
Allah Hudamun Demak Tuwanawat.
Yeah, I don't remember what it was he's saying.
It's gibberish.
You have to go with like the old adage that you don't practice Latin.
You don't practice Latin?
You don't practice
Latin. You might
Latin
say the wrong thing.
Because if you say the wrong thing, all of a sudden you get like a black goat appears in the corner and is like staring at you.
Like, what you need? Uh-oh.
It's like, yeah, let's not accidentally go that route there.
I took Latin in seventh grade. That works. I took Latin in seventh grade, and that was one of the things that really did is I was like, well, let me go translate all these movie quotes that are in Latin. That was all I really did.
But one of the mechanics in the movie that's kind of cool is like whenever it wants to even just chase after somebody, it gets out into the city or in the street where there's a lot of people, is it can just literally hop between people.
Yeah.
And every time it possesses the person, you can see that person be like get possessed and their face changes, but it might be for just a second. The trademark that that he's there is that he's always either whistling or singing. Time is on my side from the Rolling Stones, which is why
fantastic.
I made that comment earlier about the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. There's a couple times I think he's trying to catch up to the main girl in here that's played by Mbeth Davids. I forget what the character's name is. That is Greta Milano, and she's the daughter of the last guy who kind of faced Azazel and eventually failed. I
guess, yeah. The last guy who was an adversary to Azazel, because Azazel seems to just kind of do what he wants.
Yeah.
No one really is up to the task of actually trying to stop him from doing what he wants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It sounded like her dad. What was the dad's name? Gabriel? No. Was he Gabriel? That's not right. He was another Milano. I don't know that they even cast it in there because I think you're just seeing pictures of him. I don't think he ever actually had an acting role. But whatever the girl's dad's name was, I think was like one of those people that kind of gave him a good run for his money.
Yeah.
So he liked that challenge, and I guess that's why he was kind of coming back to.
And she's like a demonologist, like because of what her dad went through. She's kind of dedicated her life to learning about these things, and that's where she's a source. She's a narrative source.
Yeah, and kind of I like that part of that character too. That she recognizes what's going on.
Robert
And
Milano.
she's a attractive lady, and she's decided to not be in any relationships, not having any children, not doing anything because she didn't want to expose anybody else to what she was already kind of caught up in.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's pretty noble.
It's like a nun, essentially, without being canonized.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Robert Milano, that's the little spoiler here with the why is there a space between lions and Mikowski?
Yeah.
Or something like that. Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. My main thought that I want to talk about is really spoiling the ending of it. So I guess we have to either make a big warning before we do that or just decide not to do that. But
spoilers. Sure.
All right. Well, spoilers, we're going to ruin the ending of this movie for you. So pause at least for now. Go watch it.
Well, before we actually spoil it, it is a fun film.
Yeah.
I do think that let's talk about this and then we'll go into spoilers.
Yeah.
The Fallen shows demonic possession as I feel as if it actually occurs, with the exception of because I'm comparing it to like The Exorcist. Now I know Catholic priests and stuff and exorcists will claim that the exorcisms, like the movie The Exorcist, do occur like that. I personally am suspicious of it. I'm like, no one's ever recorded it. Like, if that stuff really did happen, why isn't it on film?
Yeah.
And I've heard all sorts of excuses why not. I've heard, well, they don't record it out of respect to the family. I'm like, look, if I had a family member that was demonically possessed like you see in the films, I'd be like, please record to let the world know this exists. Yeah. And I think many people would. I've also heard demons don't manifest on film because they don't want to expose themselves. I'm like, okay, then that's the solution. If that's what it is, just put a camera on them and they won't act up. Why not?
We keep on advocating for the surveillance state on this show.
we do. But I mean,
inadvertently.
Yeah. And I'm like, so and also, is the demon's will of being camera shy, is that more powerful than the name of Jesus? I mean, I have all sorts of questions about whether or not that kind of demonic possession exists.
Yeah.
This kind of demonic possession is what I truly believe in, but also even more subtle. Yeah. Like when Azazel goes inside somebody, he takes over their body. He is now that they are suppressed, and he is driving their body. Mm-hmm. I think it's even more subtle than that. Demon gets in you, he whispers to you, he lies to you, he suggests things to you, he subverts you, but he doesn't overtake your body. That might occur. That might actually occur. Like, we might have politicians, actors, actresses that are like literally run by a demon. That might be how it is.
I don't think there's a might there.
But I think it's more that they are carrying demons with they're carrying demons with them that are whispering to them, that are influencing them.
It's a pretty easy answer to when you see something horrific happen and be like, how can somebody do that?
Yeah.
And you're like, ta-da.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I think I've often thought that I bet humanity, I mean this hyperbolically, I bet humanity surprises even Satan at times with how evil we can be.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's I did want to say that I wanted to juxtapose this with The Exorcist because they're both demon possession.
There's a
films.
line in there's a movie called Nefarious where
I saw that.
The Sean Patrick Flannery is the guy who is possessed by a demon, and he's trying to. The whole movie is whether or not.
And that one, he is actually like it's the demon that is in control of the body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole idea is whether or not they can get a stay on this guy's execution to say he's either mentally ill or he's actually possessed, or if he's just a crazy guy that needs to just be executed. And I think at one point where the Sean Patrick Flannery, I think is the guy, does an amazing job of switching back and forth between these two characters. When he's the demon, he's just really creepy. And he says something in that movie where he's talking about like all of the stuff that basically came out of all this kind of woke culture stuff. I can't remember exactly how he phrases it, but the demon like kind of recounts some of that stuff back to the attorney, and he's like, man, I don't think we would have ever even thought of some of that. Right. And you're like, wow, it's pretty good commentary. Yeah. But sometimes he's just got his feet up and just sitting there watching us and like, man, it's like, I think we down here are winning. But.
All right. So what I'm going to do, and this is probably more for me than than anybody else, just so I know where to put it. Here you go. Spoiler alert. We're going to go full spoilers in this, and this is something we could probably do better as content creators or whatever, is separate when we talk about spoilers and we don't.
Yeah.
Because generally we're like, hey, we're going to talk about it. But
yeah. Well, half the time we're talking. This is still a 1998 film.
True. So. If you haven't seen it yet, your fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't spoil Star Wars. What are you talking about?
He's who's dead? What?
Right. So anyway, full spoilers. Let's just lay it out.
As he battles this thing, and the Azazel demon keeps on committing murders, possessing people near Hobbs, committing murders, making it to where it almost looks like Hobbs is killing people.
Right.
And basically getting the whole department to start like, this is kind of beyond coincidence. This happened. Calls came from this number with your house and all this kind of stuff. And then it's all these people that you've been around are the ones that keep dying. And so Hobbs is literally, I think, a worthy adversary for this guy. He's like, fine, this is the way we're going to go. Well, we're going to go out to the country. I'm going to wait for you. You're going to come for me. Thinking of Azazel the demon.
Mm-hmm. And this is because he learns about how far a demon can travel without a body.
Yeah. And he's just killed his brother.
Yeah.
While he
just killed his brother.
He and his brother's son slept. Actually wrote on the chest of the little boy. And it's like, okay. It's like, we're going to go that far, and then come on with it.
Yeah. At one point he said, Hobbs goes to Azazel and he's like, you leave my family alone. And Azazel says, you came after me, I'm going to come after you and yours. And it's like, oh,
yeah,
man.
Yeah. And I relate very much to Hobbs being like, fine.
Yeah.
You want to do that? Let's go. You want to go fist? You want to go sharp sticks? You want to go guns? What are we doing?
So when Hobbs goes up to the cabin, he knows Azazel will follow him.
Yeah.
That's the plan.
This is the cabin that the previous detective Milano had gone to kill himself.
Yep.
Trying to defeat this demon.
Yeah.
Kind of probably trying the same type of attempt, and it just didn't.
That's kind of what I got, was Hobbs understood. Like, there may have been some conversations between Hobbs and Greta that we weren't privy to, but like, he understood what Greta's dad was trying to do. He understood his plan. He's like, you know what? He didn't do it, but I'm going to do it. Yeah.
So he goes there, lures the demon there. The demon actually comes with the two officers. It comes with John Goodman and the Sutherland, so you don't actually know which one he is, and he figures out which one it is pretty quick.
Well, no, the only reason he figures out
that's what I'm saying. He figures it out pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, pretty quick. Okay.
Because John Goodman just pops Sutherland in the head. Because they're having like a 3-gun standoff, mm-hmm. and they're like, somebody's got to give here. And I think Azazel's like impatient. It's like, I ain't got time for this, pal.
Well, they get him to put the gun down so Hobbs wouldn't shoot Azazel when he figured out who it was.
Yeah.
When I was rewatching Fallen, there's one thing I thought that it would have been a little more, I don't know, visceral. And that is one thing this movie kind of goes out of their way to not be visceral at times.
Yeah.
But if Azazel had killed himself, like if Azazel was in Lieutenant Stanton and he killed himself and went into Jones.
Yeah.
Like, I think that would have been a bit more like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So you get it to where it's just the two of them, and they kind of end up squaring up outside again. Yeah. And Hobbs is like smoking a cigarette, and then he kind of reveals
Did you start smoking? I didn't know you started smoking again.
Yeah, like he apparently used to smoke. There was a little bit of a plot thing that was kind of worked through the story. And he reveals to him that like all these killings that have been happening with a poison given to people, like mm-hmm. injected in the chest with a syringe. So it was like the same way every time somebody got killed. And he's like, he's going to shoot Goodman, who is possessed by Azazel, while he's smoking a cigarette laced with the poison and killing himself, and being like, you ain't got nowhere to go. And kind of looks to me like he's got Azazel beat at his own game. He's nowhere near anywhere. There's no way that he can flee and get to another body. He kills. I forget. Is there another? Does he shoot Goodman anymore, or is he just die?
He attacks Goodman because Goodman's going to kill himself. Because the idea is when Azazel's in spirit, no man can resist him. He can get in anybody he wants. Yeah. And so that's the only way he's going to be able to get into John Hobbs is if he's in spirit. Yeah. And so his idea was was for Jonesy to kill himself, go in spirit, then go into Hobbs. but Hobbs prevents him from killing himself and does a gut shot.
Yeah.
And he was like, why would you prevent Jonesy from killing himself?
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I need some more time. And that's when he sits down and starts smoking.
Yep. So you kind of think it's like, oh wow, yeah, outsmarted the demon. And of course they kind of give you the Azazel's been around for a long time and probably maybe been faced with something like this before, is that he can possess anything that's alive.
Yeah. And at first you kind of get the idea, because he talks about it being 500 cubits is a long way. You get the idea that maybe Hobbs is going to run. Yeah, I'm going to get 500 cubits away from you before he dies. Yeah. But that's not what it is.
Yeah, he kind of puts them both into the corner where there's no other escape there, and everybody dies, and the spirit comes out, and then you see
he laces a cigarette with the same poison that Azazel used to kill his brother. Yeah. So he felt a little bit of vindication there.
And then spirit kind of goes up like it's sort of panicking, trying to figure out where to go, and then you see it go right back in to the Schrödinger gun. Is that what you call it?
Oh, that's Schrödinger's cat. The Chekhov's gun.
Yeah, Chekhov's I know that one, right? Yeah. You saw this cat earlier. Yeah. The first time he comes to the cabin, this cat runs into like a little hole underneath the cabin. It's kind of like
it's just a cat. It's just whatever.
A cat. But the cat lives under this thing. The demon goes down in and possesses the cat and comes back out. And it's just like, I think he's kind of like, and there's some kind of narrative there.
At the very beginning, and I want to know about if you caught this. At the very beginning, the movie starts with John Hobbs voiceover. Yeah. It was like, I want to tell you about the time I almost died. Yeah. And at the very end of the film,
that's right. I was trying to remember how
you realize that the voiceover is actually Azazel. And he was like, and I bet you forgot. I told you I was going to tell you about the time I almost died. And a little cat's coming along. Pleased to meet you. Hope you guess my name. Did you catch that the voiceover was? Did you figure out the voiceover was Azazel, or did you suspect that it was?
Not at the beginning. No.
Yeah. Well, at the very beginning, no, definitely not.
Yeah. No. Once that all ties together at the end, then you go back and remember all that. And I was like, that's pretty clever. It was a really cool ending for a movie, and just that whole. It
was definitely like in the 90s. Also, because of Fight Club, I think there was a thing where everybody wanted a twist ending. Fight Club and Sixth Sense, like those two films, it was like everybody wants an ending that's going to make you go, oh. I think this has a good twist ending.
Yeah. Yeah. And it kind of comes back into the line with Seven and with No Country for Old Men and lots of other of those similar style movies that you can fight evil with the time that you have, and you just can't defeat it. Yeah. And that's we are humans, and there's only one being that has the ability to actually destroy it permanently, and that's not us. Yeah. We can fight it the best that we can, and the better way to fight it is to kind of bring more people to the right side, I guess. Strength in numbers. Well, that's one thing that always gets me with the scenes in the movie when it jumps around, is how easily it moves between everybody. I think that's kind of an underrated part of the movie, and an unnoticed part of the movie is how susceptible and how weak everybody is to the influence that they can just brushing past each other. You'll see the person that has the demon will reach over and just be like,
touch somebody.
Just do that. And that's what it goes into them. It's like they don't have any resistance to it at all, because they don't have any spiritual armor.
And that is one of the, if I could make any negative comments about the film, I would say the fact that Hobbs's resistance to Azazel has nothing to do with the fact that he has faith in God or anything like that. Yeah. It's just that, well, he's predisposed. Yeah. And that's how they set it up. That's how Greta kind of just explains it, is there are just certain people who are chosen to take up this fight. Yep. And Hobbs is obviously one of them because he's resistant. Which, narratively, I'm fine with. I don't think it's a negative of the movie. It's just if I was comparing it to how I think it actually works.
I like the fact that it is more of a chosen thing, and that the people who get chosen, some of them do find their way to Christ and do embrace religion, and some people just go live the way that you're supposed to without that guidance, and they're still chosen and just haven't had something to kind of. The idea of there being a chosen defender placed here as a human on Earth, lots of them, is that very few of them will ever get called into this kind of battle.
Right.
And that most of them will just live their lives, grow up, grow old, and die. And then there'll be another one to replace them placed somewhere. And
I'm not gonna say all Christians, but it is part of Christian philosophy that God will use people for His good, for His plan, whether or not you believe in Him, whether or not you follow Him. God can use anybody for any purpose. And like, if in looking at this movie under that idea, is like God was using, even though John Hobbs wasn't explicitly a religious man, he was being used by God. And Greta did allude to that because he's chosen.
I can't remember the name of the movie. I just remember the line. It's one we'll have to track down and watch sometime, where there's a person, it's a demonic possession movie, and the people are like, well, I don't even believe in God, and there's a minister there. It's like, the devil doesn't care. And then his next line is like, a wolf doesn't care if you believe in it if it finds you alone in the forest. It's like, it's the same thing. It's like, it's not, none of this happening depends on what you believe. You're part of a greater story, whether or not you're, whatever way you acknowledge yourself in that story is really inconsequential. And that's why, people will say, you shouldn't watch these kind of things. You shouldn't watch demonic movies. You shouldn't watch horror, things like that. My defense in that is like, I want to always see evil. I want to be as familiar with it as I can be. So I'm ready to fight it any way that it comes at me, because I'm here to protect my family and to protect those I care about. And if that's from somebody trying to steal my lawnmower, or somebody trying to come in here and kill everybody in their house because they're demon possessed, I want to always be somebody that's vigilant and like ready for that kind of thing. And there's a lot of parts of this movie I could keep kind of going on and on about little things like that are.
There's definitely a movie with a lot of small comments throughout the film, a lot of small lessons that you could definitely take a lot from. I hate that I didn't know it didn't do well at the box office. I hate that it didn't do well. It's time frame. It is a good film.
Yeah, and really, Denzel Washington was not as an established thing then as he is now.
Right.
If he did this movie 5 years later, it probably would have been a massive hit, because it would have been, it's a Denzel movie.
It's a Denzel Washington movie. Yep.
Yeah.
When you were talking about the film with that quote about the wolf, I thought you were going to say the quote that Mother Abigail gives to Nick Andros in The Stand, where he writes on his little pad, he's like, "But I don't believe in God," and she laughs, and she's like, "Nick, it don't matter. God believes in you." It's like, okay.
It's the same
idea.
From the other side.
Yep.
It's The Dark and the Wicked is that movie.
Okay.
But yeah,
The Dark and the Wicked.
Great movie.
But
this is definitely worth a watch. Rewatch it again. I said something at the beginning of this. I had a theory about why it didn't do very well. It is a very slow-paced movie.
It is.
And it probably maybe 15, 20 minutes too long. Probably could have been edited a little tighter to get to the point a little bit quicker. There's a few just sort of meandering kind of scenes in it.
Especially, I wouldn't disagree with that, especially with when Hobbs starts to he starts to understand what's going on, and then Azazel kind of plays with him. That kind of cat and mouse of those two, that they do drag that on quite a bit.
Yeah, and it's not a big action storyline that's going on. It really isn't narratively happening to you, but you're not getting chases, you're not getting fights and shootouts and demons showing up and crashing through walls.
This isn't End of Days with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he kills Satan with a gun.
Yeah.
That's not this.
That actually was on the suggestions
really?
At the bottom when we were watching this, and I was sitting there laughing just because I remember that movie. Bless Arnold's little heart, little steroid swollen heart.
There's a 5-year period where it seemed like Christian cosmology was all the rage in Hollywood, because you had Fallen, End of Days, Devil's Advocate. I mean, that was a big thing for a little while. Stigmata. Yeah, that was a great movie. I really enjoyed that.
That'd be another one to maybe look at sometime.
7, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting list to look at, is what late 90s, early 2000 movies were like steeped in Christian mythos.
Watch this movie, be patient with it, give it time to kind of develop. And I think you'll get into it. It's a little slow. If you have attention problems, then you might not enjoy this one as much, or go get a big cup of coffee if you need to. It is worth paying attention to. can't believe I hadn't seen it before.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I'm glad you finally got to see
last
it.
night was my first watch of it. So I will definitely watch it again and may add it to my shelf over there.
There you go.
So
Well, that's our discussion about Fallen. 1998 Denzel Washington.
yeah, specifically that one. All right, later.